Hey everyone, it's Courtney Wallen here at RVNN-Live, and we are joined by Ron Loeber, Chef Ron Loeber of CampsideChef.com. We know you love a good recipe, so we brought him on to share a few. This is RVNN-Live, brought to you in part by PetHub and GoToMeeting.
Today's program brought to you by PetHub. Protect your pet for pennies a day with critical contact, medical, and dietary information on a smartphone scannable ID tag. And by GoToMeeting, affordable online meetings that work so you can do more and travel less.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. This is RVNN Live. You know who I am, and you know who this guy is. This is Andy McCaskey and Studio Z today.
Good morning. This is so exciting because this is, I think, the first time we have had an Android phone right from location, and it's just a beautiful signal here, Ron.
It is.
Thank you.
And this is Ron Loeber of CampsideChef.com, and he's joining us from, is it Glimmerglass Lake in New York?
Glimmerglass State Park. Esteel Lake. Beautiful, beautiful place here.
It looks lovely. I think we're both a little jealous.
This is in the Finger Lake region of central New York, and I'm kind of surprised that normally this time of the year we'd have a lot of snow on the ground here, and primitive camping would have its own special challenges.
Oh, absolutely. Normally we'd have probably several feet of snow in this area, but this year it's just been a dry year. But luckily for me, you know, I don't have to put a tent in 2 feet of snow. I can just put it on the ground here.
There you go. I want to go camping, and I've had the urge, and you being out there is enticing the urge to go camping. So hopefully, maybe I'll head out here soon. But wanted to talk a little bit about your book. You've got a new one down at CampsideChef.com, and or you're at CampsideChef.com, and you've got a new book out. But what you do on your website is you have campsite advice, more than just recipes, advice, stories, guides, equipment and campground news and advice and things like that. So why don't you go ahead real quick and just take us back to the basics and how you got started and the things that you offer through CampsideChef.com.
Okay, well, basically I got started about 4 years ago in 2008, and I just, thought, I said, I've been camping for 20 years, and I've been cooking professionally for, almost 15 years now, and at that point I said, I'd like to share that and create an online resource for people to go to, because I said to myself, I said, well, besides the recipes, the recipes are great, but also I do campground reviews. Because I know when I was making reservations, they never really had good pictures. So I said, well, I'm going to go around to different, campgrounds and take pictures and give my own review of it. And also advice, things I've learned over, the 20 years I've been camping, like putting a tarp underneath your tent or over your tent, and stuff like that. So, I just really wanted to create an online resource for that, and kind of expose people to all the different elements of camping.
Absolutely. And we've got the website up here right now, and it's a pretty easy interface there, and you've got some really great recipes, everything ranging from drinks to breakfast to whatever you want, and you're making it easy for people to create these at their campsites, and you're also giving them not only the ingredients, but what to bring with them to make these recipes.
Yeah, I actually, that's the biggest part of creating, stuff outdoors is that, you want it to be pretty easy. Part of that is buying the correct equipment for it, which, I have listed in my book, kind of things to look for when you're creating your own campsite kitchen, the best kind of stoves and so forth. But actually making the recipe, I always try to think of, making it as easy as possible, because, I have a culinary arts degree, I've been cooking for 15 years, but not everyone has that, so I just try to convey it as easy as possible.
Very good.
And, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As you can see with my Campside roulade, I do step-by-step instructions, both written and with pictures. So I try to do that whenever I can.
Absolutely. And one thing, I love recipes. I love cooking, and I know a lot of our audience loves a good recipe. They're always submitting things and talking about that. But, we're an RV network, and a lot of these RVs have kitchens in them, but a lot of people do pop-ups where they, A, may not have a kitchen, or B, it's just very small. So a lot of your recipes can be incorporated in small kitchen situations.
Yes, absolutely. It's actually a choice. If you have a great kitchen in your RV, by all means, cook in there. But at the same time, I've run across a lot of people that say, I don't really want to cook in my RV because I don't want my RV smelling like burgers or whatever
Bacon.
I'm cooking. So, therefore I say, well, you can, cook outside, right outside your RV too. And, either way, it's whatever your choice is. But I try to make them as simple as possible. So, doing it in an RV is good.
Yeah. Ron, what are some of the challenges you have as far as getting good ingredients to cook with?
Well, some of the fancier ingredients, you have to go to special stores like Trader Joe's or something along those lines. But for the most part, it's not too difficult finding the ingredients I need. It's just mostly pre-planning your menu. I like to plan my menu out for the whole entire trip, and then if I have to get something special, I have the time ahead of time to go to the store and get that wherever it may be, or even order it online.
So you may be planning to include a fish that you would catch, or would you not take that risk?
Oh, you meant it by that? Okay. Well, yeah, that. Sometimes I wouldn't plan on catching a fish. My brother and I were talking about that. It's like, well, we'll just go camping one time and we'll just live off the land. And I'm like, well, what if we don't get anything? We're not going to be living too long. So I said, well, we'll have to go to the local store and catch something there in the grocery aisle. But yeah, I would love the challenge of that. It's something basic and primal about it. Just catching your own food and cooking it and filleting it and all that good stuff. But I would still bring along some type of food to eat just in case.
So if you were in a backpacking type of situation, or where you were in a base camp and then you were going to go out for a day or two, what would you recommend as far as something better than the Gorp peanuts and some of your standard freeze-dried stuff?
Well, they actually they have these stoves, jet boil stoves they call them, and they're just these little tiny things that you can put right in your backpack, and you have a little tiny aluminum pan. I wouldn't recommend cast iron because that's pretty heavy, but some type of aluminum pan that you can saute things in, and just bring some fresh vegetables or even some meats, and you can put a ice pack in there and some kind of small insulated cooler. I mean, very small, something like that. But just use your imagination for the most part. I've had people ask me about that, and I said, I don't do a lot of backpacking myself, but if I was doing that, obviously you want to go with something that's lightweight and also have the ability to cook. And you could start a fire right at wherever you're at too. So nice little small fire to cook over.
I was not aware of those little that you could take in a backpack. Very good. We do cast iron cooking when we camp, and boy, is that heavy. I get my workout every time I go to wash that pan. My hands get really sore, but it is a good device, but obviously not for backpacking. So, Ron, I have to ask, of course, all of your recipes are fantastic, but what is one of your most popular, one of your favorite to maybe give our audiences a place to start, maybe one that you'd recommend for them to cook?
That's funny. I'm asked that all the time. What's your favorite recipe? I have a bunch. I love to cook, and I've cooked a lot of different recipes over the years. But one I did recently, the Rouladen, which is actually a German dish, and it's basically thinly sliced beef layered with whole grain mustard, yellow onions, thin sliced yellow onions, and pickles. And you roll it. Actually, and the other thing would be bacon. But actually, I did a twist on it. I used Italian sausage, and I layered this all on there and rolled it up, put some toothpicks in it, grilled it, and smoked it with hickory wood chips. And then I braised it in German beer. So that was actually that came out fantastic, and I loved it. And another one that you know, if I had my top two, would be my Berg Ellingtons, which I just took a hamburger, grilled it to whatever temp I wanted. I wanted medium rare, and then I cooled it down a little bit, and I wrapped it in puff pastry. But at the top, it was almost like a Wellington, because that's obviously why I called it Berg Ellington. I put some sautéed mushrooms and onions and a little bit of bacon, and I just wrapped it all in puff pastry and baked it right on my grill on a pizza stone, and it came out unbelievable. You know, you could eat it just like a hamburger. You know, the puff pastry was actually the bun, sort of say.
Yum.
Yeah, and you realize that it's 12:20 here now, and just about, you know, that bowl of cereal from this morning is getting really thin.
Well, come on over.
I was going to say, Ron, you're cooking dinner tonight for us.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you've got a great book that's out, and is it? Let's talk about that real quickly, and where they can get it, and when it will be available if it's not already available. I know it just came out.
It just came out, and it's actually available online through Blurb Books, and you can find it there. Actually, you see a picture of it right there, and you can order right from there. You know, the only problem is the shipping is a little pricey, so I'm not the happiest about that aspect of it, but it is available online, and I think it's well worth it. You know, I created this because, you know, I said, well, there's a lot of cookbooks out there, and even outdoor cookbooks, that give you recipes. And, well, recipes are great, but if you don't know the terminology or how to cook them, you know, via the equipment and other stuff like that, then it might be a little difficult. So I created this book to actually show you how to cook outdoors, and some cooking techniques, and a lot of people might not know that when you're cooking over the fire, it's a wise choice to use hardwoods instead of softwoods, because softwoods, like pine, have a resin inside them, and it actually will create a harsh taste in your food. So you should always use like oak, you know, types of hardwood when you're cooking directly over the fire, so you don't get that. But other things in choices of, you know, what type of equipment to buy, I give you some advice on that. And like I said, cooking techniques, and what, you know, different types of wood to use to bring out different flavors like hickory and mesquite. And also one aspect of it is food and wine pairings in this book. And the actual techniques themselves, like sautéing, braising, and stuff like that.
All sounds good, and this seems like a book you'd want in your tent, in your RV, or wherever you're taking out there to do your campsite cooking. And today we're actually going to be giving one away, and Ron, thank you for doing that. If you hop over to our Facebook, Twitter, Google+, any of those places, and just comment on our post about today's cookbook and show, you'll be entered in to win, so be sure to do that before 5 p.m. today. We will draw the name, and one lucky winner will be getting the Campside Chef Pocket Guide. So, Ron, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you had a little bit of a rush today, but we appreciate your willingness and your flexibility, and we wish you all the best with the book. It sounds great.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to do this.
Okay.
And,
thanks very much, Ron, and enjoy the your afternoon here, lakeside, as they say.
Well, thank you. Now I have to set up my tent and everything else, so the work starts right now.
Well, good luck. Thank you again so much. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh, cooking. It never gets old, does it?
It never gets old. This is a beautiful part of the country. If you've had a chance to go up to the Finger Lakes region, I don't know if you can pull the map up there or not. This is actually to the east of the Finger Lakes, but this is close to Cooperstown, which is at the south end of the lake that he was just talking about at Otsego Lake. And he was at the far north end of this Glimmerglass State Park. And here's a picture of it in the summer. And we think that he was actually set up around this little lake here, which you can see on Google Maps. So a really great destination. Didn't have a chance to ask him about geocaching, but I bet you there's some cool stuff around there as well. So, time to jump right into the business, some of the business stories in the world of RVs, courtesy of RVBusiness.com. Actually, going to be a very short segment. We had two things today of interest. You might know Blue Ox. Blue Ox, of course, a leading manufacturer of tow bars and fifth wheel accessories, base plates, steering control systems, and so forth. They were recently honored, recognized at the White House in a ceremony talking about achievements in rural manufacturing. Also might note that Blue Ox also is diversified, and it specializes in heavy-duty tow bars for the military, for the defense industry. Other news item comes from Southeast Publications. They have just released a MobileRVing app for the Android platform called MobileRVing, and it basically enables you to have all the information you would have in a physical site directory where you can search for campgrounds by name or press a button and the app will show you the nearest RV park. And it will ensure that campers can find the facilities on any Android device while providing direct navigation information and so forth, site maps, amenities, all sorts of good stuff. Full release for iPads and iPhones, as they say, coming soon. So those are the two consumer-oriented sorts of business headlines in the news here today at RVBusiness.com.
Alrighty, I guess this is the point where I do my 30 seconds that I really am trying to do in 30 seconds. Our little rundown, of course, we are now on Pinterest, and we're really excited about that. So new stuff every day. Be sure to go to pinterest.com/RVNN, and guess what? We're giving you a tutorial today, so don't go anywhere. Of course, we're also on Google+. We're now on the Roku. We obviously still so excited about that, so be sure to subscribe to our app and check out our great videos. And today, we've been showing these consumer submitted, if you will, commercials from PetHub.com. And PetHub is running a contest right now. If you would like to enter, you have until March 4th to do so. So instead of us chit-chatting about PetHub, we've been letting these great film. I don't know if film is the right word.
Some of them are animations, some of them are films that tell a story, others are just, there's a tremendous amount of creativity that's come out. So let's take a look at this. Is PetHub number 2, I think.
Yes, right? PetHub number 2.
Today's program brought to you by PetHub.
Hey guys, I'm home. Kitty, where's Kitty?
Alrighty, so we had a sneaky little puppy there.
Little on the devious side. That was a great little commercial. A lot shorter than I was expecting. A 60-second. That was like 30, right?
Oh yeah, I was. It's 30 seconds. That seemed like 15. And of course, that kitty was able to be found because of the pet tag. So they've already got a great low price. But if you want to get even more off, go to PetHub.com, and when you go to checkout, put in the code word RVNN20 to receive 20% off. And if your dog is devious, your kitten will be found. No worries with PetHub.com. Alrighty, how would Cisco ever do such a thing?
Cisco has seen cats, but he's not impressed.
Not impressed. So
neither are the cats, incidentally.
cats aren't really impressed with much, I feel like. But anyways, on to the social media side of things. And we were talking with Ron today about the weather and how we've had such a mild winter. And would you agree?
I would indeed. I would indeed.
And no matter what neck of the woods you are on, and there have been places. We're in Indiana here, and we're right by the Lake Michigan, and we feel we get a lot of a lake effect snow, and we really haven't gotten a lot. Now, I have heard reports of other people having snow, and we have not. But
let me pull this up here and get the video started. It looks like they went through the ice here, huh?
Yeah. Can you please start that over?
Oh,
there we go.
I'll start it over again.
There. All right, so we've got a situation here that does not look pleasant. This is something I tweeted out, so you can go find this Twitter at RVNewsNet. Now, this brave soul, first of all, for going out in this kind of weather, but what do you do when you get your huge?
You call up somebody with a front end loader to try and give you a hand. But I'm trying to figure out what he drove into. If he just drove into a ditch, slid off the road, or what the thing was.
I was also trying to figure that out, but either way, it would probably deter me from attempting anywhere near or around snow of that nature, just because it's already not fun to get your car out of a snow ditch or whatever it may be that you fall into, but let alone your 20-foot plus RV. That wouldn't be pleasant, and that's about all I've got to say about that. So thank goodness that we've had a mild winter, because I bet there have been less occurrences of that video. So be on the lookout, be careful, and always drive safe, of course, out there. And you can find that on our Twitter. We just thought that was kind of an interesting video. I think Angie found that one and just was like, oh my goodness, what would you do?
That you've got to do that.
Whatever would you do? All right, so this next one is something I retweeted from As We Travel. This is a couple that actually travels around the world, so they're able to get a really good perspective on this next article, but there are some places in the United States, but of course we know we have an audience all over the world. But this is the Northern Lights and where to go to get the best view. And actually Fairbanks, Alaska makes the list here, which I would obviously love to go to Alaska and check that out. I couldn't imagine a more beautiful place, I'm sure, to go check that out. But Sweden is a great place to see. Finland, Iceland, and I have a feeling that this couple has been to most of these places to see these, and they probably first-handedly have gotten to experience that. Andy, have you ever gotten a really good view of the Northern Lights?
I have not. I've not lived far enough. Well, the times that I have lived far enough north, there hasn't been the solar activity that's necessary to do that. Been through Alaska, and so forth, but it was in the service, so I didn't loiter.
Yeah.
It was a flight back over to Japan.
Wow.
So that's about all that I can say of the Northern Lights. Although I think I did see them as a kid.
Yeah.
A little kid.
Did you know what they were?
Yeah, my dad was trying to explain how they were produced and so forth, but little kids, their attention spans not what you call great.
Yeah, and it's funny. This article, they say the less than romantic explanation for the Northern Lights, but it's a pretty romantic kind of. They put this on the 17th, which was near or around Valentine's Day, but just a really neat thing to see. And I know a lot of people make trips to find great spots to check out the Northern Lights. So this is just one great article that we have tweeted out, and or actually retweeted that from As We Travel. So be sure to check them out. They've got some great travel tips. So I'm going to skip over the Facebook portion of today because we've had a lot of requests from our viewers, because we are now on Pinterest, to give you a small tutorial of the basics of what it is and how you work it. So first of all, actually on Pinterest, you have to request an invitation. So all you do is you go to pinterest.com, and when you go there, you can just request to be a part of it, and when you do that, it'll take about 24 to 48 hours.
And
there's you've got it on yours. Let's
request an invite.
Let's see if I can switch over here. Let's see how good. Oh, okay, there we go.
Just this red button here is how you sign up for Pinterest, and it's free to sign up. There's no fee involved.
Right. It's absolutely free. You go to that request an invite portion of that. Once you get your invite, then you can log on. When you log on, this is what you're going to see. You can follow your friends, and you can actually follow people within the interest. So if you like photography and travel and things like that, it'll just recommend people for you to follow. And so I actually like following a lot of people because there's always a prize. I feel like there's a present waiting for me. So when you log on to Pinterest, you're going to see those people that you're following, and the things that they have pinned are up there. Now let me go back to say that Pinterest is an online pin board, so you can pin the things of interest. Pinterest. So lots of good stuff. So no matter what you like, there is no right or wrong way to use Pinterest. I really believe that. This is a great resource for so many different things. And I want to take you here to the home screen. When you come up, you're going to see what people have pinned. And let's say we like this dog picture here. You can click on this little puppy here, and if you actually click on the picture again, it'll go straight to the website that it came from. And then if we want to repin this, we just simply press repin, and we select the board on which we want to put it, and there it goes. It's there for us to remember. This is great. Besides traveling, I would think you would want to put places that you want to go. Mm-hmm. Maybe some campgrounds that have been recommended and things like that. If you're getting married, you can have a wedding pin board. If you're decorating the RV, things that you want to do inside of it. So it's a one stop to put all of your ideas and things that you want to do. It's a dream board kind of as well. So here is RVNN's Pinterest, and we've got boards for all of our great shows here. And we want you to check out and comment, and we've got some really good stuff. So if I'm, just randomly going throughout social media throughout the day, you'll find my random pins and things like that. So here's one that I pinned, Andy, and you might find this kind of humorous, and maybe you won't, and who knows. So here is an Airstream, right, and a lady who is Airstreaming, and I just said, this is what I think I look like when I RV or camp, and let's be honest, I don't look this nice. And
it's got the glamour. That's the glamour shot treatment.
Yeah,
there,
the
right?
glamour shot. She is all done up. She has got her Airstream has been polished perfectly, and I'm sure there is not an ounce of dust, dirt, or grime in that RV, but that's what I like to think I look like when I'm RVing.
I think so. Okay, yes. All right. So now, if I have seen this and I want to put that onto another board, how would I do that? Here's Courtney. It says what I think I'll look like when I RV.
Mm-hmm. You can repin it.
All right. So if I wanted to go ahead and repin that onto, let's say, the State of Wonder. Yep. Which is where you are going to a different state. So let's see, books worth reading. Now, actually, this is on my personal page of Pinterest. Gotcha. So what I'm going to do is do products. What Courtney thinks she's going to.
Yep, you can change your caption and always be sure, like any other social media, be sure to give credit to the websites, and of course it'll automatically put the website you pulled it from on the bottom. But one thing I've been doing is making recipes and pinning them, but just taking a picture with my own phone and pinning them up, but giving credit to where I got the actual recipe is always good. So give credit where credit is due, and just have a lot of fun with Pinterest. So we've got lots of great boards for you to check out, and some of these pins will actually link back to the shows themselves. So if there's ones that you missed or something that looks a little bit more interesting from where we're coming from on the board, be sure to click on it. So again, if you...
Yeah. Well, a good example maybe is the obese cat. Is that
yep.
Okay? If you come over here to Tales from the Road and click on the obese cat episode, there is a chance that now will this actually go
to that? If you click right on it, what it'll do is just take you to the Tales from the Road landing page, and all you got to do is look for that picture.
Look for the chubby cat.
Yep, look for the chubby cat. We should maybe be nicer to this cat. This is the episode on feeding your cat, and sometimes
here we go.
People
right here. Yes.
Need some more advice
and
on that.
It takes a little bit of time for the photos to come up. But once that appears, then you can go ahead and click on that and look at the video. So this will bring up the episode that features that particular cat.
That cat is ridiculous. It's been overfed.
It's been overfed a little bit, but anyway, that all comes back from the Tales from the Road bulletin board that's at the RVNN Pinterest account.
So be sure to check out our Pinterest, but if you don't have it, be sure to sign up, because we just want to reassure you, because we've had a lot of viewer emails, that it is easy, it's free, and it's really fun to sign up. So be sure to go over there and do that. That is your Pinterest tutorial. Be sure you can always send me an email if you have more questions about Pinterest or anything that we've talked about on today's show. You can shoot me an email at cw@rvnn.tv, or just find me on Twitter. I'd be happy to help. Today's travel app, Andy, this is rather strange, because the travel app is something that we just talked about, but
Just coincidentally,
it is. Today's travel app of the day is actually the Pinterest app, because this is another great, if you are like I said, there's so many different ways to use the app, and there's not a right or wrong way to use Pinterest itself. And I'm going to get on my phone here and show you the app itself, because I have found this to be extremely useful when I'm out. I've shown you a lot of apps that you can use to mark your trip, and all those are really great, because some of those are location based and things like that. But if you have this app already, here it is on my phone. It's a free app. If you go on here, these are the people that you're following. And the things, ooh, what is that? Chocolate chip cookie dough cake? That just came up.
Okay.
I'm going to have to repen that here in just a second. So all of these, all these recipes and all, not recipes, but things that my friends have pinned are all coming back. But then I can also go to my board or take a picture right from my phone and pin it. So if I'm out at a location, I'm traveling, and I'm at a state park, I can take a beautiful picture of that morning, pin it under State of Wonder or wherever it may be, what board I want to put it under, and then just mark that. So I'm going to remember that picture. It's going to show where it's at, and then I can share it with people. And you know what? They're going to love that picture as well.
Yeah,
so
we had a beautiful sunset here. I think it was Friday or Saturday afternoon, and we were just saying, wow, we should really go ahead and put that on Facebook or something. And actually, if I'd had that app, I'd been able to shoot that and then post it right to Pinterest.
Absolutely. And the great thing about it is, let's say you have some campsite recipes or things like that you want to make, or just maybe a fun game for the kids. You can have that. It'll take you right to the source. So you've got all the information right in that app. Free app. Go to the App Store to download that and make your pinboards more accessible all the time, and share with us where you've been and where you're going. We love it. So that is our travel app of the day, Pinterest. Do you have that app yet on your phone?
No, I don't. But what I'm doing is I'm zipping over to to my account here at geocaching.com, because we had a chance to find some things here this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking for the we attached a photograph. We attached a photograph to that as well.
You'll have to pin that.
Yes, and I was hoping to do that live, but I can't get to the photograph.
And
it does have to be a photograph that's on the that's published on the web somewhere.
And that's one thing I forgot. When you sign on to Pinterest, if you actually go to if you go to the About tab on top, actually let me just go back, because this is actually really important, which makes it so much easier. If you're up here on Pinterest and you go to, let me move my browser over a little bit, to the About tab right here on top where it's dropping down, go to the Pin It button, and what that's going to do, whether you're using Safari, Chrome, whatever web browser you have, it's going to make a plugin, which I have right up here, Pin It. And so anytime I'm browsing the internet, I can just press that Pin It button on whatever website I'm on, click the picture I want to pin, and it pins it. As long as you're signed in on Pinterest, it'll pin that for you. So you don't have to keep logging on and be on Pinterest to pin, and it just makes it so much easier. So
okay,
be sure to do that.
I'll go ahead and get this pinned up. I don't have the plugin installed on this browser, but this was something that we found, and actually this was some swag that we put into.
Cool.
There is the cache. It was this magnetic key lock holder. This is the logbook, and there were a couple little things. There were little tickets down in there. There were a couple little kid decals, and so we thought that this would be an interesting pin that we could put in there, and then that was back and concealed in the proper place.
Very
so
good.
I'll get that punched onto our Pinterest board.
Yes, you should. Get on it. Pin that. It becomes very addicting, so I will forewarn you, but it is a lot of fun, and it's a great way to share some information. But information we want to share with you episodes that we've posted. Of course, this weekend we got up the Why I Love Geocaching episode, so be sure to check that out, and we will continually be updating our posting. We've got lots of great new shows up, but recording this week, Tuesday, we are going to be recording an episode of Geocaching World, of course, 6:30 Eastern, right here. Probably going to have a Google Hangout again, because that's always been requested, and do lots of fun things. We don't have an exact topic yet, but I can, for sure, I will tell you this. We've got a guest on live Wednesday.
Yes.
Who is someone we met at CES, who has a product that geocachers and travelers will go crazy for. It's fantastic. And if you join us tomorrow night on Geocaching World, you'll get a double entry. And what is that company, you ask? Wednesday, join us on live because we will be with Paul Akers of fastcap.com. They've got the iDangle and the iPole, which
you use with your iPhone, of course.
Yep, with your iPhone. And they are two products that I had with me at CES that saved me.
That's right.
And they are awesome for just being outdoors, and I love them. I love the product. So be with us on Wednesday, but to get a double entry, be with us on Tuesday for Geocaching World. And then, Andy, on Friday, we are going to be joined with author Brad Herzog. Now, he has a blog on GoRVing.com. So if you go to GoRVing.com/blog, or GoRVing.org.
.org, yes.
Sorry about that. GoRVing.org/blog. You're going to see Brad there. He goes RVing with his family, and he's an author, and he's got these fantastic books. And Andy, my book came this weekend.
Oh, it did?
So I'm so excited to get through it. I am a horrible reader, and I can read, but I just don't get through them quickly. He's going to be joining us on Friday to tell us more about his...
And I've got that
there you
pulled
go.
up. Okay, so there is the blog, I think, called The Scenic Route, and he's talking about moose antlers in this particular posting, but there he is. Yes, that's the zoom function, and there he is.
So he's got the book that I ordered is Turn Left at the Trojan Horse, and it's just talking about the great road trips that you take, and you don't really have a rhyme or a reason, but you just go where the wind takes you, and can't wait to talk to him. He's got some really great books. He's got some great children's books as well, so be sure to go to bradherzog.com to find out more. Of course, that'll be in our show notes. So we're kind of busy this week.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Hey, one of the other things, though, we do need to talk about, we are going to be using GoToMeeting for a number of conferences this week. GoToMeeting is a way that you can conduct business meetings through the internet, and with HD faces, you can include webcams, and so that you can see the reactions and of people to your ideas or the documents that you might share up. And if you go to GoToMeeting.com and click on the Try It Free button, you can get a 30-day free trial of GoToMeeting if you use the code PODCAST, PODCAST. GoToMeeting, affordable meetings that work.
Absolutely. And you know what else works is this little show we have called Geocache Radar, which if you haven't seen it before, we will be showing one here in just a second, but shows you an interesting geocache.
It does. It does indeed, and interesting part of the country as well. And you go to a town and there's nobody there. Ooh, pretty strange.
Hey, it's Geocache Radar, episode GCRD 108-1. Today's geocache is located near Coloma, California. While in the area, you could go to the Marshall Gold Discovery State Park. James Marshall discovered gold in 1848, and that led to the 49er Gold Rush, the greatest mass movement of people in the Western Hemisphere. Or you could go to the James W. Marshall State Historical Monument. The park grounds include much of the historic town of Coloma, California, which is now considered a ghost town. Or you could go to the Gold Hill Wakamatsu Ranch, the site of the Wakamatsu Tea and Silk Farm Colony, a mile south of Coloma. This ranch was settled by Japanese colonists from Fukushima Prefecture in July of 1869, said to be the first Japanese colony in North America. All of this within easy driving distance of today's cache. Today's cache has a difficulty of 1.5 but a terrain of 4. It's GC12TZ0, called Soaring Swallows. You can start out with a guided hike to the Mount Murphy waterfall. Then you're seeking the highest parts of the property. You're looking for a camouflaged soup container. It's a favorite soaring site for swallows, but you need to keep an eye out for critters. Approximate locations: north 38 degrees 48 minutes, west 120 degrees 52 minutes. For full details, go to geocaching.com, the official global GPS geocache hunt site. For show notes on this cache, go to rvnewsnet.com/geocache radar. Information is believed to be valid at the time of production, but conditions may change. Use common sense and caution and do not trespass. Keep geocaching a fun and family RV activity. Geocache Radar is a production of RV Newsnet and RVNN TV and is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here.
Yeah, as they say, watch out for critters. From the description, it sounded like that would be really marvelous. You go to the falls, and then you have to figure out how to get to the highest terrain that is around that particular area, and that's why the difficulty is high. But apparently the climb very much worth the trip.
Sounds like a really fun one. You've been doing a great job of picking out some interesting geocaches, and of course, this is just only contributing to my 2-year sabbatical that I'll be taking.
I know,
so.
Yes, yeah, well, but you'll be working the whole time,
exactly.
So I understand.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're so understanding. But we hope that you will join us the rest of the week. We've got some great shows coming up, as we said, and for anything on the show that you'd like, just go to the show notes at rvnn.tv and get linked up with that. We will see you on Wednesday. I'm Courtney Wallen.
Hey, Andy McCaskey. And thanks for watching on RVNN-Live.
Today's show is brought to you by Angie's List, where you'll find thousands of unbiased reports and reviews about service companies in your area. Whether you're looking for a roofer, plumber, house cleaner, dentist, or even a doctor, Angie's List members share their experiences with each other so that you can choose the service company that's right for your job. Companies can't pay to be on Angie's List, and the reviews come from people just like you who have had experience with the companies mentioned. To find out more, go to rvnn.tv and click on the Angie's List ad.